What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Link Evolution match video featuring myself and MegaGaming. For those new to these videos, MegaGaming and myself have been facing each other every week in match format, with new and old decks featured on our channel with complete commentary on the duels. This week it's my turn to host, and we have the matchup between my Karakuri machines against his Danger Dark World deck. We did have one disconnect in the very first duel of the set, so we did have to restart once, but after that we were able to get a clean best of 3. I had been recording duels with Karakuri prior to this match, and it did surprise me how comfortable the deck felt, so I decided to bring it this week to showcase some of the new cards they got in the update. Starting things off here with the first duel, Mega decides to go first for one of the few times I've ever seen in our matches. I've grown accustomed to seeing him always prefer to go second, so this was a neat surprise that I soon come to hate in a few moments. We don't have any hand traps sadly, so Mega is going to be free to do all of his summoning and discard shenanigans to build his ideal board as we wait for our turn. Taking Mega's turn aside, we do have a pretty amazing hand, all things considered. Our level 2 merchant can search the new level 5 monster to go into an easy beret, Synchro climbing all the way up into the new level 9 Synchro beret. Sadly, with our luck, we do get hit with card destruction, completely ruining that good hand and giving us one of the worst possible hands in return. It's pretty much impossible to break through this board for the most part, as Appaloosa ruins our combo plays and Hope Harbinger will negate a crucial spell we try to use. Even without Appaloosa, a well-timed Nightmare Unicorn could have also spawned one of our monsters away, eliminating a crucial Link or Synchro summon. At this point, I've already given up on this duel honestly, as the only other card the top deck would have been Urgent Schedule, but with the Appaloosa on board, our Synchro monster or Halka Fibrax would have been negated anyway, halting us to a complete stop. To throw salt on the wound, we also lose one card to Levianair and draw into O-Line, which we would much rather have in the deck. The first duel, of course, goes to MegaGaming here. Without a doubt, we are definitely going to go first in the next duel, and hopefully set up a good turn 1 board in response to the previous duel because we cannot afford to let that happen again. On to the second duel, once again we have a pretty good hand minus the level 1 tuner. I'm running the 4 card Despot engine for the Auroradon combo here, so getting 003 here was a pretty nice opener to at least guarantee us some negates. If I didn't open the Despot combo, I would have summoned 001 with Halka Fibrax here, but luckily I do run the 1 Jet Synchron for these scenarios, as an extra level 1 tuner is always welcome in this deck. From here, things can go smoothly as I'm pretty sure Mega can't afford to run too many hand traps in his deck, so it's time for a little payback. Normally you would guarantee Borolo Savage with 3 negates at a minimum with this combo, but I know deep down that alone isn't going to cut it, so I decided to take things even further and go for the ultimate setup here. While Karakuris have enough potential to plus on their own, I do run the added bonus of TG Hyper Librarian in my extra deck, giving me even more draws with each Synchro summon. The reasoning I had for this was to draw into as many hand traps and Call by the Graves as possible to completely shut down Mega, as most of its dangerous effects trigger when his monsters are discarded or something close to that in nature. Thanks to each Karakuri Synchro monster summoning an additional monster, we can do our climb into the level 9 to draw 3 cards alone, not even factoring in Anatomy or Barreto's effect. From here, this part of the duel turned into a personal challenge for me, seeing how far I can go with the Synchro summons and drawing cards to win this duel. In a different situation, this gamble would be risky as Nibiru, evenly matched, Lightning Storm and other scary cards could have made all of this meaningless, but Mega does confirm the contents of his deck later on after the match, and I am right in guessing that he doesn't have any attacks like that. By now, we are starting to see some progress in our hand, especially with the 2 Called by the Grave so far. Not only that, we have a follow-up play for our next turn, as well as Urgent Schedule, and we aren't even done yet. Mega did ask if the Synchro monsters were hard once per turn, but luckily for us they aren't, so we can summon multiple copies of each Synchro, and their effects will still resolve each time. Thanks to Jet Synchron, we can summon another Karakuri Synchro, as normally we would just summon our level 1 Karakuri tuner each time to climb up. An alternative play as well would be to summon the level 3 tuner Komachi from the deck for the additional normal summon of the level 2 merchant, which could have searched our trap card and gotten us a Naturia beast, but I missed that option at the time. Now that things are winding down, I feel pretty safe after all of that summoning we did. With a timer, this probably wouldn't have gone so smoothly, but it was pretty fun to be able to make this kind of board. Barebu is a pretty sick addition for the deck I was looking forward to, as if a Karakuri position is changed, he can banish a card in response, as well as all defense position monsters being unable to be destroyed by battle. I do make a few errors in this turn, starting with the Ash Blossom here. With the prompt being presented to me, I kind of shotgunned the Ash way too quick, which turns out to be completely useless against danger monsters as they can just use their effect again. Ash would have been much better used against the snow instead of losing one of our Call by the Graves. The next mistake I also make was not using Barebu's effect soon enough, which is kinda weird since I was in a rush to use the other 4 forms of disruption immediately. With the level 1 tuner in the grave, we can banish it to change a Karakuri position to trigger Barebu, but I end up holding off on it too long and end up falling victim to Danger Bigfoot. Without much effort, Mega is already well on his way to clearing the board we worked so hard to make without too much worry, proving the deck can go first or second and still put in work regardless. Only saving grace here is that we have Urgent Schedule for defense, and another Gamma Oil to revive the Barebu on the following turn to get back on offense. There is a scary situation here where we do have the chance to lose, and that is if Mega can generate 4 level 8 monsters. While I didn't notice the contents of his deck at the time, I did have a good feeling that he had the Numeron Dragon combo in his extra deck, and he does confirm it after the match. Since we did leave some monsters in attack mode, a well-stacked Numeron Dragon could easily OTK us if he has enough Exceed monsters on the field, but luckily this doesn't happen. I decided to pop Urgent Schedule because it may be our last chance to activate it. We can also bypass the machine attack restriction by using it on our opponent's turn, while also getting some more bodies to defend with. Mega does take a moment here to curse his luck at not being able to go for lethal, but he still has access to the Dingirsu Orcus, which can effectively deal with Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Putting Barredo in defense was another mistake as well, as the Gamma Oil boost would have left him protected with 3300 attack, but that misplay was due to me using the level 1 effect on Barebu instead, even though he was already doomed to die. Plenty of ways we could have lessened the blow on this turn here, but it is what it is. The good news is that we do have recovery, and MegaGaming is completely spent. With our second Gamma Oil face down, we can revive Barebu and easily deal with Dingirsu, and with the nice amount of monsters we have in the hand, we can spam our board again and completely destroy him. We did play this duel kinda bad, but had we not taken the route of drawing into the Call by the Graves at least, things could have gotten a lot worse. Special shout out to one of my favorite Karakuri tech cards in this duel, and that is Karakuri Gold Dust. Mega initially believes he is safe from lethal in this duel, but thanks to my love of this card in Duel Links, I decided to run it and go for a nice OTK play. The way this card works is by switching a Karakuri monster to defense mode, I can give its attack points to another Karakuri monster. While I am used to only using this card for the attacking purpose, the cool thing here is that it does trigger Barebu as long as you don't use it in the damage step, so it was a pretty cool option to have right here. The level 5 bonds were just added insurance, but no matter what, the second duel barely goes to me. While this is a pretty neat victory to enjoy after the beating we took in the first duel, I did have to remind myself that Mega can now choose to go first or second, and I had a pretty good idea of what he was going to choose this time. As expected, Mega does go first, so we have no choice but to hope that he doesn't end up on a similar board like the first duel. If he does open a board with Hope Harbinger and Appaloosa, we would have to open a very specific hand to play through them, not factoring in other disruption, and even then it would probably leave us in a bad spot afterwards. With Urgent Schedule and Despot 003, we have some decent starting plays to get rolling, so we just have to hope that we avoid another card destruction. Once Mega uses Monster Reborn here, I feel pretty confident that he doesn't have a crazy board this turn, as he is not constantly drawing and discarding into more extenders for his plays luckily. With only IP Masquerena hitting the field, things are looking pretty good despite the Chaos Dragon Levy in there that's about to hit the field. We will lose a card from the hand, but with 3 starters and the proof that Mega is spent once again, we can safely make our plays next turn. Of course, that's what I initially thought until Mega hits card destruction yet again. I did seriously consider calling Konami after this, as he managed to open a limited card twice on me, but we do manage to still get a play somehow, so I decided against it. The level 2 Merchant is a decent starter, as with Bonds, you can easily make a level 7 Bure. Once you use Bonds' effect in the hand, however, you are restricted to Earth Machine summons for the rest of the turn, so we did lose out on quite a bit thanks to the card of destruction. Thanks to Anatomy though, we can draw back enough cards to compensate and get another Synchro in the process by drawing in more monsters. Once again, if Mega had a card in his hand, IP quick linking into Nightmare Unicorn could have been a problem, but we managed to get by without that issue. Since we did draw into a level 4 non-tuner, We can summon our level 3 tuner from the deck for the additional normal summon and get that second Synchro I spoke about. The more important thing to note though is that we have a whopping total of 3 Call by the Graves in the hand at this point. With this, Mega pretty much has no hope as we can banish any discarded dangers or other monsters who have effects in the graveyard on his next turn. All in all, it was lucky on our end, but we do manage to win this match on account of Mega bricking slightly. The record so far in our matches goes 3-1 in my favor, but I'd like to remind you guys that Mega has beaten me quite a few times before we started the series, so that number is probably quite different realistically. Yu-Gi-Oh! Does have that factor of luck in duels, so for this match, luck happened to be on my side for the most part. But if any of you guys watch my streams, you'll know my luck can be quite terrible at times, so stay tuned for the next match. If you guys are enjoying the content, please subscribe here and to MegaGaming's channel, which I will link in the description. He will be posting the next match between us, so make sure to check out his channel and his deck videos until then. I myself will be dropping a Karakuri deck video soon with more replays, so you can look forward to seeing the actual deck list there featured in this video.